Here are 34 early game tips that'll help you on your adventure in Elder Scrolls Oblivion Remastered. While following the Emperor in the Imperial prison, make sure to grab items off the assassins' bodies. You'll have some gear to start with so you're not stuck in those ugly prisoner outfits. Also, as you're exploring, you'll find a bunch of different weapon types that you can use. Try them out and see which ones you like, as you will start to level up the skills depending on which weapon you exactly use. When you're in the prison, a great enemy to use as practice on is going to be the rats. I actually was able to just hold up my shield and practice block while healing myself a lot. That way I was able to increase my blocking all the way up to level 20 without having to go into the overworld to practice on harder enemies. Do a lot while you're level 1. Even though you create your character and choose your birth sign, pick your class, this can all be edited right before leaving the sewers. So make sure you create multiple hard saves right before you reach this point here. That way you can have multiple playthroughs set up with characters with completely different builds. Speaking about saves, throughout the game, make sure to also hard save when you find yourself in a position where you have to make a difficult choice. That way, if you feel like this isn't the pathway you want to do, you can just instantly load that save up. And if for some reason you find that you may have not done a proper hard save and you're just stuck, open up your game and check the auto saves as well. I've been able to backtrack on multiple mistakes due to the hard saves and auto saves. This might seem like a really silly tip, and I was also shocked because this is my first time playing Oblivion, but you can fast travel right from the start of the game. You literally open up your map and can go to any of the available markers at any of these major cities. Kind of mind-blowing, and that's really cool that the developers did that. Whenever you kill anyone, make sure to always check their body. Make sure to always prioritize important items like lockpicks or high-value stuff with little weight. Don't grab a bunch of multiple copies of outfits like bandit fur outfits or double up on shields, because it starts to get heavy and you don't want this to be over encumbered simulator. Remember, everything you do in this game is going to level up a skill. If you jump in place or swim, your acrobatics will level up. If you get hit while wearing both heavy and light armor, guess what? Both of those skills also go up. With a ton of different skills in the game, you want to prioritize the ones that your character is built. So if you're a magic kind of person, bam magic attacks and your skills will level up for that as well. It's kind of addicting, actually. Remember in Elder Scrolls Oblivion that actions will always have consequences, so you don't want to go around attacking anyone, not even accidentally, unless that's, that's just the playthrough you're going for. So be careful whenever you are doing anything. When you're stealing in front of people, you have to be aware. Talk to everyone. Talk to guards. Talk to all NPCs. You'll never know what information they have or valuable intel on a current game event in the area. Also, make sure to pay attention to the top left of your screen, as you may trigger a quest by doing something without realizing it. And if you are not sure if that happened to you, just open up your menu and go to the quest section and see what quests are currently available. Make sure you check crates for easy loots within the city, and you won't get in trouble for doing that. Load up on lockpicks when playing the game, because you're going to need it to open up chests, open up back rooms, open up doors when you're not supposed to open up doors. You get what I mean. You need lockpicks to do a lot in this game to find a bunch of secret loot. If you ever see red anywhere in the game, this indicates you're not supposed to be there, you're not supposed to take, you're not supposed to steal. So be aware there's going to be consequences if someone is looking at you when you are performing a red action. You usually can get away with it if there's no witness in the area or you're not caught. Understanding persuasion and doing the Speechcraft minigame is going to be very important for increasing your skill, known as Speechcraft. And essentially, it is a minigame where you are paying attention to the characters' faces that you're talking to. You see the options they like. You'll see a smile, a big smile, an angry face, an angrier face, and you want to have the wheel rotate in a way where you have the big lines on the happy faces and the smaller lines. That way you can raise up your interaction level with those characters. The higher it is, the more likely you'll probably get some good information out of them or find out something important. This section will talk about how to get some OP weapons and armor early. This is the Umbra Ebony Armor and Umbra Sword, and you can get it right away at the start of the game. Step 1 is to fast travel to the Imperial City waterfront on your map on the southwest side. Step 2, open up your map and place a marker approximately right over here. Step 3, once you arrive at the waterfront, make your way out this way and cross this body of water in the southwest direction. If you get lost, refer to the marker on your map. Step 4, you'll know you're going in the right direction if you see a small bridge which you'll have to cross and follow the road. Step 5, enter into the stone door to Vindazel. Step 6, avoid spike pits and poison traps and make your way through the dungeon. Step 7 is important. Once you see the campsite, make sure that you jump from the elevated area to this pillar over here and place a hard save down. From here, you can then spam attack Umbra in any way you see fit. If she is regenerating health faster than you can DPS, you can lower the difficulty, or another option if you don't want to change difficulty is bait her all the way to the Imperial city to have the guards defeat her for you. Then you can loot her body and get her powerful Umbra armor and Umbra sword. Now the next armor I'll be talking to you about is going to be the Fin Gleam helm that'll allow you to breathe underwater, and I'm going to show you how to get it in 6 simple steps. Step 1, open your map and fast travel to the Anvil Lighthouse located in the far southwest of your map. Step 2, once you're there, head west until you arrive at this unmarked island on your map at this specific spot. It's the dark colored one on your map. Step 3, open up your map, zoom in, and place a marker approximately here. Step 4, place down a hard save in case you drown. Step 5, here are the landmarks around me and what I'm looking at. From this point, turn around, go into the water, and swim approximately to the marker on your map. Step 6, dive under the water and keep going all the way down until you spot a skeleton. Immediately loot it and equip the Fin Gleam helm so you can breathe underwater. One of the first things you can grab immediately is a set of heavy armor, the iron armor, and a sick iron claymore really early. All you have to do is just head northeast right after escaping the sewer to this dungeon location on the map called Vilverin, which is located right over here. As soon as you enter, you can make your way through the dungeon until you arrive at the central pillar here. Once you're here, all you have to do is just grab this iron claymore, curios, and boots located on top of this box. And you can equip this gear and then exit out if you want to go slay your enemies, or you can spend your time in here collecting a bunch of items that you can sell for later. The next item to get is a very powerful bow known as the Frostwyrm Bow. And in order to get this enchanted bow that does frost damage, all you have to do is travel to the Cheydinhal East Gate on your map, and from there you want to head over to this location called Aaron's Camp. Since it's not on your map, here is the marker where it is on mine. Once you're there, continue north, jumping up the mountains, which will level up your acrobatic skills. Then from there, you can make your way all the way to Dive Rock. From Dive Rock, all you have to do is head towards this direction, where you'll find a troll-looking creature where you can defeat him with ranged weapons or magic, which is really optimal. Then it'll drop what is known as the Frostwyrm Bow for some nice range frost damage. Make sure that you are repairing equipment often. As opposed to other games, you usually have to wait for equipment to go to 1 in order to start repairing it. However, in Oblivion, the moment equipment starts to degrade over time, they already start to lose the efficiency they naturally had at 100. If you want gold really early in the game, the first thing you want to do is head to the Imperial City District and go to the Arena Bloodworks right away and speak with Owen, who will give you the option of either selecting a heavy or light raiment in order to wear. Depending on the build you have in the game, pick the correct armor option. The fights are always going to happen between 9 AM and 9 PM. And the great thing about Elder Scrolls Oblivion is that you can just change the time at any time. As you are doing each of the fights, the gold amount will consistently scale up. This is also great because you can level up your combat and weapon skills while doing the arena. In the arena, there are a total of 8 ranks. Once you climb all the way up, you'll then have weekly matches. Remember, if the game is starting to feel really hard for you at any time, or you just feel like, hey, I kind of want to just cheese this bad guy, well, you can just go to your settings, go to general, difficult, and then lower the difficulty level to complete a task, and then bring it back so you don't feel bad. Going back to the arena, you want to talk to this specific person at the arena called Agronak-gro Malog, aka known as the Grey Prince. He is the grand champion of the arena, and eventually you'll fight him at the end. However, if you do talk to him, you will get the quest Origin of the Grey Prince, where he'll give you a key that allows you to go to a place known as Crowhaven. He wants you to find a proof of the noble birthright. When you arrive there, you'll find a journal, and eventually you bring it back to him, and he's going to award you with a permanent +3 to blade, block, and athletics. You don't want to miss out on this permanent buff at all. After that, you can then fight him for the grand champion title, and because you did the questline for him, he's not going to make a big scene or a fight. He's going to want to be killed. All you have to do is just kill him, loot him, and you'll get an enchanted heavy raiment, of valor or a light raiment of valor. You can choose whichever you want. After you become grand champion, you'll have someone that shows up called the adoring fan. Just be aware that any options you choose is not going to affect your game negatively or positively. If you choose the one, he's going to follow you around and actually be very annoying. If you tell him to go away, he's going to just head right back to the arena where you originally found him. You want a free horse early, all you have to do is go to the stables outside the Imperial City at the location called the Chestnut Handy Stables. Go inside this building, talk to this NPC, and request any horse that they can spare you, which will get you a free horse. Enemies scale as your character's level in this game, which means as your character levels, new type of enemies will start to appear in the world. And how leveling up works exactly is 10 increases to 2 major skills in any order will result in that specific level up for your character. So the 7 major skills you pick at the start will be tied to your character level ups. There are also NPCs in the game who can train you to level up certain skills, and you just have to have a bit of coin. Just look at the bottom left of your screen to see if they have that, and you can get 5 skill ups in that specific skill. You can get yourself free storage for your items in the game, that way you don't get over encumbered. And there is actually a permanent free room at an inn in a village named Allswell that's north of Lake Rumari, the lake surrounding the Imperial City that can be located right over here on your map. Once you arrive here, you'll notice that there are a bunch of invisible people here. Specifically, once you kill the wolves, someone named Diram will interact with you talking about a mage that made them all invisible. From there, you'll go to Fort Caractus, listen to the voice of the wizard that is talking, and as you approach the voice, you'll then enter a dialogue screen with him where you will talk to him about the invisibility spell, and you'll get the reversed invisibility spell. After that, you'll equip the ring and then use the reverse invisibility, which will then cause the entire village to show up. I noticed that 2 people were actually still glitched out, but that's not the issue. After that, Direm will talk to you again and thank you and say that you have a free room anytime at his inn, that you could stay free of charge. So Allswell Inn will then be your storage if you go upstairs to the 2nd floor on this bedroom here. Don't go into the one that has the red bed. Go to the one that has the bed with the white, and then you can store your stuff here, and it's completely safe. Now, when you have enough gold saved up later on, we can now move up to something fancy known as a house, which leads us to the next tip. I've talked about over-encumbered simulator earlier when looting enemies, but what are you going to do with all that good gear? You can't store it on you forever, and that's why it's important to get a house in the game. Most player homes have safe storage in the game. If the house needs an upgrade, you don't want to store until you perform the upgrade. However, once you have upgraded a home fully, you can place all your items there without worrying about them disappearing. For example, I bought this house for 5,000 gold from a guy who just offered it to me, but then I went in there and I found out it was completely haunted and had to do a whole entire quest line where I had to kill his dead grandpa who necromanced from the dead. Kind of crazy. But eventually, after doing that, I was able to get an upgrade for the house, and it became my permanent house, really big, a lot of storage, for just 5,000. And I no longer had to struggle with storage at that point. Anytime I got something cool, I would just place it in one of the storage. There is some cheap player house, like the Waterfront Shack, which you can buy from the Office of the Imperial of Commerce, located in the Market District of the Imperial City for 2,000 gold. However, I don't recommend it because you have to then upgrade it, which costs another 2,000, and at that point, you're close to 5,000. So you should just buy the house in Anvil and do that quest line. Here is a fun trick if you want to easy spam your way to level 100 sneak that'll allow you to steal from people and get around with no problem. First, head over from east of Imperial City to the Wyvern Priory, like this one on the map over here. From this location, follow the road east until you arrive at a place called Fort Ash, where you will get ambushed by a highwayman before you enter, who'll ask you for 100 gold. Give him the gold and then immediately crouch and then pickpocket it back. You notice he doesn't do anything at all. Even if you pickpocket him again and again, nothing happens. He just stands there with his commentary. And by doing it, the game registers this as leveling up your sneak. So you could basically just spam it over and over again until you hit 100. And trust me, it's going to take you less than 30 minutes to even do that. Let's talk about joining 4 major guilds as soon as you can. The first one we're going to talk about is the Dark Brotherhood, which gives you a bunch of rewards like certain weapons and armor. And it's pretty powerful. To join the Dark Brotherhood, all you need to do is just kill somebody, specifically an NPC. Not monsters or animals, they don't count. Once you do kill somebody, you'll see a notification that someone was watching you on your top top left of your screen. I suggest that you kill Matthias Draconis since he's later on going to be a target for the Dark Brotherhood. That way it's a 2 birds in 1 stone kind of thing. Remember, killing is still a crime even if you want to join the Dark Brotherhood, and you'll be subject to arrest if the guards see or catch you, so make sure to do it very quietly while nobody is looking. After that, you'll go to sleep, and then you'll be awoken by Lucian himself, the member of the Dark Brotherhood and the speaker for them. After talking with him, he'll assign you the first target, Rufio, and you'll be gifted a really cool weapon, the Blade of Woe. In order to kill Rufio, you have to head over to the Inn of Ill Omen located south of the Imperial City that'll be marked on your in-game map as your main quest. Once you go inside the inn, you want to head down to the trap door, go ahead and kill Rufio, and then there's a bed right where Rufio is sleeping, which is a little bit awkward, but you could sleep in that one to have Lucian show up again. Lucian will then appear, congratulate you, and then introduce you to the Dark Brotherhood. After exhausting all of his dialogue, you then have to head over to their secret hideout. This will require you to fast travel to Cheydinhal at the east gate, and then you'll find this house that looks boarded up, which you'll need to lockpick to get into, go all the way down to the basement, and then just respawn Sanguine, my brother, to what is being said at the door, and officially you are in the Dark Brotherhood Sanctuary. Ochiva will welcome you, and you'll get the really powerful Shrouded Armor and Shrouded Hood, thus completing your first quest. And then if you want to do contracts after that to get more rewards, all you have to do is talk to Vincente over here to start your first contract. I'll leave the rest up to you. The next guild we'll be talking about is the Thieves Guild. There are several ways to actually join this guild, but here's the fastest and easiest way. The first thing you want to do is read one of the many wanted posters attached in the walls of the Imperial City, which will have the Gray Fox on it. Then you can find a beggar named Puny Ancus located in the waterfront district of the Imperial City and bribe him with information about Gray Fox by using the Persuasion wheel. If for some reason this doesn't work, just exhaust NPC dialogues around the town with guards and other beggars about the Gray Fox himself. After that, you can then go to the Garden of Derloth at midnight, which is located right over here. You'll see it's one of the shacks found on the west side outside of the port area of the Imperial City district. Make sure the time is close to midnight, where you'll meet Armand Christophe. Speak with Armand and a dialogue box will prompt. You want to pick the first option, which is the one about Gray Fox. He will then trust you since you spoke to a beggar. If you did not speak with the beggar, you're going to have to persuade him to trust you by using the Persuasion wheel. Basically, beggars are just a shortcut to get there faster. In order to progress, you need to see the option Join the Thieves Guild. Pick this one to officially start the first quest of this quest line, which will allow you access into the Thieves Guild. And you can speak with Armand again, who will then sell you lockpicks for 5 gold each, because he'll send you on a little quest to retrieve a specific item. As soon as this happens though, make sure to drop a hard save in case you fail. That way you can just load up your hard save. You're going to be competing against 2 other thieves that are going to want to join the guild to retrieve a diary. So right away, fast travel to the Imperial City, head to the Temple District, and then follow this pathway all the way until you find Amantius Electus' house located on your map right over here. Once you open the door, make sure you're sneaking around to get the diary from his desk. After that, you'll head right back to Amantis, and then you'll be able to join the Thieves Guild. Congratulations, you have now joined it. Now let's move on to the Fighting Guild. In order to be eligible to join the Fighting Guild, there are a couple of conditions that must be met. 1, you must not have a bounty on your head, and 2, your infamy must be under 100. What you want to do is find a guild hall. The fighters guilds are located in Anvil, Cheydinhal, and Coral, and you can take a look on the sign outside that says the Fighting Guild. You can then go inside and then speak to the respective head of the guild in any of these locations. In Anvil, you talk to Azan. In Cheydinhal, you talk to Bruce Frokash. In Coral, you talk to Morden Orient. Each leader will give you fighter guild quests. I specifically chose to go to the Cheydinhal one and went to the fighter guild chapter house there. For a map reference, Cheydinhal is directly east and slight bit north of the Imperial City. I specifically talked with this NPC and asked him about contracts, which he'll give you, and I was given a job to deliver a weapon shipment to a mine in the vicinity. This quest required me to have a variety of weapons to take with me, give to these NPCs once I arrive at the desolate mine, and then we had to clear out all the goblins within the mine. However, make sure you do your missions correctly, as you're not supposed to let any of the NPCs with you die. I let mine die, which means I didn't get as much as a bonus for clearing it and got yelled at without avoiding anyone from dying. Let's talk about the Mages Guild. This one is actually the most tedious one to join because you can just talk to any head and you're pretty much made an apprentice immediately. However, However, you're going to want to get recommendations in order to go to the Arcane University. So this will require you to get recommendations from multiple mage guilds, with each having its own special quest to get that recommendation. So in order to get it, you have to go to Chaden Hall to recover a lost ring. You have to get a Bravo recommendation, which requires you to recover a fellow mage's staff. You have to go get an Anvil recommendation, which has you investigate a number of debts along the Gold Road. The Burma recommendation, which you have to find a missing mage in order to obtain this recommendation. The Coral recommendation, which means you have to sort out a problem with a former guild member in order to get this recommendation. This Skin Guard recommendation, which makes you have to find a missing mage. The Leowin recommendation, where you have to help a mage regain her sanity. After doing all of these and getting all the recommendations, you then have to go to Ramius Polis all the way in the Imperial City. Here's the NPC. Talk to him, you'll get admission, and you'll get an honorary robe to join this academy, and all the quests that follow afterwards, like getting your staff and much more. If you found these tips helpful, hit that subscribe button.